back in England for a 2-week visit to see my mum, who's sadly got Alzheimer's, and she's in a care home and she doesn't always know who I am, and also to see my youngest son. And then after the 2 weeks here, I'm jumping on the plane to Ottawa in Canada to see my eldest son for a week, and then I'm back to the USA. Gina unfortunately couldn't come with me because she's looking after Daisy. Anyway, while I was here, I just thought it was quite a nice idea to give you guys a glimpse of where we used to live. That was a place called Ross-on-Wye. It's in Herefordshire, England, on the border with Gloucestershire, and about 15-minute drive from Wales. It's a very rural area, it's a beautiful area, a lot of farming here, and yeah, it's nice to be back. So hopefully you'll get a small idea of where we used to live in this video.
So this is Ross-on-Wye, named as such because the River Wye runs alongside the town. It is built on a hill and is easily recognisable by the towering spire of the 700-year-old St Mary's Church, which is visible from all directions. It's a quintessential old market town full of independent shops, restaurants and pubs, and it is the gateway to the beautiful Wye Valley. It was also regarded as the birthplace of British tourism. Gina and I absolutely loved living here, and why wouldn't you? It is a beautiful place, and if ever you guys make it over to England, we highly recommend you come here. There's just so much to do. There is stunning scenery, beautiful little villages, old abbeys, old castles, and as I mentioned, we are just minutes away from Wales, which is a stunning country in its own right. So you have to put this on your list if ever you come to England. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with just a little taste of Ross-on-Wye and the surrounding areas. I wish I could have done more, but I'm only here for a short while, and everything you see in this video is no more than 30 minutes from Ross-on-Wye. I hope you enjoy it.
And before you all say I'm sitting on the wrong side of the car, of course we all drive on the left hand side, so our steering wheel's on the right, but you all know that anyway. But it wouldn't be the first time that I've jumped in the wrong side of a car, both here and America. And before you all say it's our fault for driving on the wrong side of the road, you speak to most Brits and they will tell you that we drive on the correct side of the road. But I'm not getting involved in that argument. But there is a reason, I'm told, why we drive on the left-hand side of the road, and that all dates back to the days when we were on horses, particularly the army. And the reason that we passed each other on the left when we were on horses was to keep our right arm free, which is generally most people's dominant arm and the arm that they would have had a sword in, which meant that you could always have your sword arm ready for combat from anyone coming from the opposite direction. So there you go. That is apparently the reason that we all drive on the left-hand side of the road in the UK. I believe that's a true story. Maybe someone out there will correct me, but until they do, that's the story I'm sticking with. The other reason it's nice to come back, apart from seeing family, is to get my British food fix. And it's not all bland and tasteless, as a lot of people seem to think. It's really odd, considering how many British, English were settlers in America. I find it quite odd that the cuisine didn't travel, and there's a lot of stuff here I just can't find in America, and it's really nice to come back and have that. So where do I start? Obviously fish and chips. Everyone knows us for fish and chips, and it is really good here. And I'm sorry, America, but you don't know how to do proper fish and chips and mushy peas. I think one of the secrets to it is you need to use cod or haddock, which I don't seem to find in America. And then we've got steak and ale pie, steak and kidney pudding, chicken and mushroom pie, Cornish pasties. There's a whole pie thing going on here, and they are all wonderful. We've got ploughmans, crumpets, tea cakes, malt loaf. Oh, and the Sunday British roast. If you've not had a proper British roast, then you really haven't lived. My favourite is the pork roast. And here in the UK, all of our pork roast joints come with a skin on. So you cook it properly and you get beautiful, golden, crispy crackling. And then you'll serve your roast with, obviously, apple sauce if it's pork, roast potatoes, roast parsnips, Yorkshire pudding. Traditionally, you're supposed to serve Yorkshire pudding with roast beef, but Yorkshire pudding is Yorkshire pudding, so you've got to have that with a Sunday roast, in my opinion. And then, you know, a couple of veg like Brussels sprouts and runner beans. And again, I don't know, but I've never seen runner beans in the USA. Sausage rolls, that's another one. And I don't know if I mentioned pork pie, but pork pies, they're just delicious. What else is there? Smoked fish, that's another one I don't seem to find in America. I know you get smoked salmon, but a lot of our white fish like cod and haddock, you can buy smoked, and it just takes on another wonderful flavour. In fact, I've actually got a little crude smoking machine, and I'm going to try and do some when I'm back in America. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, a nice smoked haddock
with either mashed potatoes and a cheese sauce. And I do a lovely smoked haddock chowder, which I'll try and show you guys. On sausages, sausages. I don't understand why you don't get any British sausages. That is a whole thing in its own right. We do all kinds of sausages, thick ones, thin ones, Cumberland, Lincolnshire. Our sausages generally got herbs in them and very kind of subtle spices. There's nothing in the US that I've tasted like a British sausage. And then you'll get things like tomato sausages, apple sausages, leek sausages. I mean, you name it, and we probably put that in a sausage. But if you do come to England, Great Britain I should say, don't buy your sausages from a supermarket. You need to seek out a little butcher, and we have butchers in every single town, little independent butchers, and go and buy the ones that they make. Those are the proper sausages. They are just delicious. I just find it really odd that the British sausage never made it to America, and it's a shame because you guys would love them. You're really missing out. Oh, Battenbergs. Battenberg, it's like a cake. That's what I'm talking about it. Sorry, coffee walnut cake. That is another one. Oh, absolutely delicious. So anyway, I don't know where to. I mean, I'm sure I've left loads off the list, but there is a lot of really nice British cuisine that just never made it to America, and it's a shame. But when I come back, it's nice not to have all of it, obviously, because if I did, I'd probably get back to America about 10 or 20 pounds heavier than I am now. But I am certainly trying to get out some of my cravings while I'm here. So for those of you that do not know, this is a sausage roll, which is sausage meat wrapped in puff pastry. But anyway, I'll open it up and show you what it is. So there it is. This particular make are fantastic. That is so good. And it goes particularly well with a pack of Monster Munch. These are pickled onion flavour. My wife, Gina, she thinks these are disgusting, but I guess you just got to have grown up with pickled onions. I love them.